What's up, everyone? It is Divine Ramza back with a brand new video. I do apologize for the noise in the background. My wife's doing laundry downstairs and hopefully it'll end soon, but I just wanted to get this video out of the way. It's a treat because, hey, 2 videos in 2 days, you can't beat that, right? So anyway, this is a pickup video about all my pickups during the 2018 garage sale season, generally, you know, April till July or so. I've gotten a lot of good stuff today to show. I got about 2 really awesome pickups. Generally, each year, you know, you'll get maybe 2 or 3 good items and some other okay stuff. But this year, though, has been really good to me. So let's start off, just trying to figure out where to start off here. Might save the big stuff until the end here, so let's see here. First one here that we have up is a Windows game. It's the Commodore 64 15-pack from Activision. This was in with the lady's music CDs for like 25 cents, so I don't know what she was doing with it. So yeah, she probably didn't know what she had in there. So I haven't tried it out yet because I'm on Windows 10 and this is for Windows 95, so I don't know if it'll work or not, but has some pretty cool old games on here. We got Hacker, which was good. Little Computer People was great. Paw Patrol was good. Portal was good, but I am excited though to try this out. Hopefully I can just rip the games off the disc and play on an emulator. That would be ideal, but it was like 25 cents, I believe, so it's, you know, can't pass up this. Let's see what else we have here. This one here, I've been trying to find this here, Utopia for the SNES. You know, I just got this within the past month, but honestly, I forget where in the hell I got it at. It was a pretty good price. I love this game on the Amiga, and I've been trying to find it, and I just picked it up this year, so I'm pretty proud for that. Let's move on here. Finished my Wii U collection here. I have maybe like 20 games because that's all I want for the system. The Wii U really isn't the best system. It does have some good games on it. This was the very last one on my wish list. I saved it until the end so I could get it for a good price. Because, I mean, I honestly really don't care about making the levels, and it seems that the ones online, people always try and make the levels as hard as can be. And I'm not that great. I just want a fun level to play, so we'll see how this goes here. Let's see. At another garage sale, finally picked up this. Talked it down to $5, and it took me a while to get this, you know, because this is an older game, because I thought when it came out that you could only go around on foot in some in the vehicles, but it appears, though, I read online that actually you do a good amount of time in the vehicles doing the combat. So, you know, hey, I'll give it a try, see how it goes. But I am a big fan of the series, though. So yeah, looks good. Let's see here. We can also go with my Toys R Us pickups. As we all know, Toys R Us is dead now, and if you did pay attention, you could get some good deals on games. Most of the ones I got weren't anything, you know, huge or anything, but, you know, it's worth a shot. I got God of War Ascension. I got it for like $5. Now I have all the God of War games except for the brand new one on the PS4, which I will get eventually when it's cheap. And I also got God of War Origins collection. Play these on PSP and they were decent, so hopefully when they go to the PS3 it'll be good too. picked up Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I've had Part 3, and I've been wanting to get these, but, I don't play multiplayer, so I just wanted to get them for the single-player campaign, which I've been told is pretty good, so I waited until they were cheap, and finally I picked up Republic for PS4. Looked like a pretty good stealth artsy game. I waited to pick it up just because I heard that you can beat the entire game in like 8 hours or so, and I didn't want to pay full price for it, but I think I got this for like $3 or something, so why not? Yeah, it looks pretty good, so yeah. Let's see. Also, at garage sales, I picked up some Xbox 360 games. Got Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 3. Now, they're all pretty old games. I do own all of them digitally, thanks to the Xbox Live free game program, but as you all know, I do prefer physical over digital, and for $5 each, that's what they're worth, because these games, they made tons of them, so they're not worth anything, but I dig them some, so let's play some of that. And one garage sale, I saw they had some pretty good stuff in the ad, so I had to rush over there and take a peek at some stuff and it was one of those ads where the picture was just fuzzy enough that you could tell they had Super NES games, they had Game Boy games, but you couldn't really tell what they were. So you thought, hey, they might have some hidden gems or some harder to find games or just good games overall. So I ran over there, and honestly, most everything they had was total shit. But I drove there, had to pick up something. They were trying to sell like a GameCube controller with busted buttons for like $15. Like, dude, I'll pay you like 5 cents for it. They didn't know what they were doing. Bought an N64 Rumble Pack, which I seem to have misplaced, but I did need one of those. So picked up Defender for the Atari 2600, which this port of the game is pretty bad, but I do love the artwork though, and it was like $1, so whatever. Everything looks good on it, so whatever. I picked up Kix Mitten Box for the Game Boy, which I remember playing this in the arcade eons ago. It's supposed to be a decent port. Good price, really good shape. We always need more Game Boy games in the box, so here we go. Pretty good deal. For my birthday, or at least a week after my birthday, I went to Kansas City to watch my Oakland A's play for the Royals. And of course, whenever you go to a brand new town, you have to find a game shop and stop by there. This shop was called Vintage Stock, which it's one of those stores that sells games, but they also sell like toys, DVDs, compact discs, vinyl, all types of stuff there. And if you are a fan of Pat the NES Punk, and you've seen on his podcast last week, I believe, they've gotten caught selling pirated games in one of their Texas stores with signs that say these are emulations, which no, they're not. They're pirated games. But the store itself was okay. They didn't really have anything real rare. They had 3 copies, I believe, of Flintstone Dinosaur Peak, which, without looking at them closely, I would bet that few of them were bootleg copies, because no store really has 3 copies of that game. But a lot of their prices, though, were pretty damn high, so I just shopped on the clearance rack and got some decent deals. Papa LaCroix for PSP is a really fun game. I owned it before. I don't know what happened to it, but it's a great game. Dig it a lot. Pirates of the Caribbean for the original Xbox. Originally, this was in development as as Sea Dogs 2. And if you ever played the first one, it was a fun game, and this was done by Bethesda, but then they saw the chance, hey, Pirates of the Caribbean's coming out, and it kind of ties in with our game, so they renamed it, added in a few things to make it more closely linked with the film. And then I also got Tron 2.0 Killer App, which I first played this on the PC. It's a great game. Picked up the Game Boy Advance version, which is okay, and this version here is pretty darn good too, but this was originally the official part 2 of the original Tron film that came out eons ago, but then Disney was like, hey, let's make a Tron film, Tron Legacy, and that film wasn't all that great, so I still consider this to be the sequel to the original Tron, and it fits in pretty well, and it's actually a really fun game. Picked up some big box PC games here. Belong to this one group on Facebook where I picked up some pretty good buys. This is one that I've been trying to find for a while. Well, I have everything that comes in the box, but a long time ago I got rid of all my PC boxes, but I was able to get another complete copy, which box isn't best shape. I'll have to tape it up some. This comes with tons of the old gold box games for DOS. It's a great collection. I love it. Then from the exact same person, I also got a copy Baldur's Gate. Again, I bought this on the very first day it came out eons ago. Got rid of the box, still have all the contents, but it was a pretty good price for the complete box, so I picked it up. I'm glad to be able to put it on my bookshelf with my other big box games. Another garage sale I went to, I was surprised because you don't expect to see a whole lot of big box PC games out in the wild, and if you do, they're just crap like Barbie or kids games or like off-road dirt track games or like sports games, and yeah, you do see tons of those, but found Star Trek Starfleet Academy complete, has figure in there, and if I recall back in the day, this was a pretty fun game too. And then also Star Trek Judgment Rights, the limited edition, comes with everything except the VHS of, I believe it was City on the Edge of Tomorrow that came with this, but other than that, it's complete. Everything's in perfect shape, so it was great to find some of these games out there, so I'm pumped for that. And let's see here. And just last week, I was in Des Moines to go to the zoo with my family. Went to Chuck E. Cheese, and right next door to it was a place called Jay's Movies, CDs, or something. But it's another one of those stores that has tons of toys, but they also have RPG stuff in there, a lot of that, DVDs, CDs, and they have a room to play RPGs in, and they have an okay video game selection. The prices are a little high, so I didn't really get any good deals here, but I found some stuff though that I wanted to get. I got Star Wars Starfighter Special Edition, which this probably for my oldest son to play. I remember it was a decent game back in the day, so I picked that up for him. Got 13. Played this on the PC back in the day. It was great, so I decided to pick it up for the Xbox. And then my catch from there was Wizardry 5 for the SNES. Now, I probably paid a couple extra bucks more than it's worth, but this isn't a game you see out in the wild that often, and it was like 15 bucks, and I could have gotten it on eBay for like 12, 13, whatever. But I mean, this is a great game. I played it on the computer ages ago. Everything's in good shape, so I swung and got a hit on it. It was a pretty good deal. And we also picked up tons of Skylanders and Infinity guys for my kids to play with there. And we're getting down towards the end here, having my 2 big hits left and a couple other ones here. So yeah, there's this guy here in eastern Iowa. Last name is Chamberlain. He advertises on Facebook all the time about his big sales that he has every year, and he has the best prices, the best product, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this guy's full of shit. I mean, he has decent product, but like on the disc version of games, you always want to check because half of them are scratched to hell. And then as for prices, his prices are not low. They're exactly the same with eBay prices. So he's preying on people who don't know much about the prices of games, and he does it fairly well. He also sells, like old porno mags along with the games, and he dumpster dives at the local GameStop and sells like their ad posters or like the things that hang from the window and ceiling and stuff, and he sells those. Or even if he gets them for free, I don't think you're supposed to go out and sell them. So GameStop might want to know about that, but whatever. So I went there the first time, and I don't know where the cartridge went, but I got Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2 for the Game Boy, and I know the AVGN trashed all the games in the series, but they aren't that bad. KoroQ for the PS2. Basically, it's a racing RPG game. You can create your own cars. I know that this isn't supposed to be a great game. It's supposed to be okay, but I've always wanted to play it, so here we go. Super Bust a Move for the PS2. This is one of the very early titles on the PS2, and I know my wife likes to play these games, and I owned this back in the day, but picked it up again. Fun game. And got Gun for the PS2, and I guess it's like a poor man's Red Dead Redemption. It's an open world game, but it's an early one, so the graphics aren't all that great, and yeah, but it's cool. I've played this on the computer, I think it was, and it was fun. If you can just get past the fact that there's not a whole lot in the game there to look at. So after that, about 2 weeks after that, he had another garage sale where he's like, okay, I'm lowering all the prices of all my games just so I can get rid of them. And this will be my last sale for a few years. And granted, he does that every year. He has a sale, says, this will be my last one for a long time. Yeah, he's full of shit too. He does it every year. He preys on the people. So I went back because there was a couple games that I saw that I didn't pick up so we could see if they were cheap. Yeah, he lowered the price on some of them by $1. Most of the other ones he didn't even touch the price, but he's preying on people who don't know. But I was able to pick up Metal Gear Solid 2 for the Xbox. I already have this, both versions of it on the PS2, but this version, I think they upscaled the video some, and they have 5 new Snake Tales, a lot new VR stuff, and also Dolby 5.1 sounds, so that'll be good, even though my Xbox is hooked up to a small 20-inch TV, but whatever. Gun Metal for the Xbox. It's in pretty good shape, and who doesn't like a good mech game? Dead or Alive 3. This isn't my favorite fighting game series. That's probably going to be Tekken, but I still enjoy these games from time to time. It was a pretty good price, so I picked it up here. And then finally for me, I got Unreal Championship 2, which was the Xbox port of, I believe, Unreal Tournament 2 from the PC, which I was a big fan of. And they added, I believe, a single-player mode in here and changed up a couple of things, but it's supposed to be a great game. Okay, now for my two huge pickups here, which were total scores here. Which one am I going through first? Went to one garage sale early on, and in the ad it said Game Boy. And with people who don't know much about games, that could mean anything. I've seen people put down Game Boy, it was DS or Game Boy Advance. But I just hoped and wished it was a Game Boy. And even if it was a Game Boy Color, if it was a new color case, I'd pick it up or whatever. But I was pleasantly surprised because it wasn't just the Game Boy. It was the original one, original clear one, plus a Game Genie, which I really don't cheat in the games, but it's still cool. It still comes with the book, really good shape. And it also came with two screen magnifier things, which they didn't work, so I've thrown them away, but whatever. But it also came with some games. I got Turn and Burn, Play Action Football, which is a horrible game. Horrible game. Asteroids Missile Command, Micro Machines, which is a great game. Amazing Spider-Man, which looks like her dog chewed up. I haven't tried it to see if it works yet. It might still work, but thankfully this game isn't worth much. Dr. Franken, which you don't see very often, is a very fun game. Choplifter 3, which is fun. And F1 Race, which is a decent game. And all three of these here, you know, all the games, the Game Boy, the Game Genie, the two magnifiers were only $15. So I was like, hell yeah, that is an awesome deal. Awesome deal. So I had to buy it. But also she had a few other things which you don't expect to find any of these around here. She had Game Gear games, and most of them really aren't great games. Like James Pond 2 wasn't a great game, but it was still in the box, and I mean, for what it is, $2 wasn't that bad for it. Got Tesserae, which I had no idea what the hell this game was, so I picked it up, had manual 2, and it turns out it's a puzzle game, which, yeah, I probably won't play it, but just add it to the collection. She also had Lemmings, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Computer, you know, whatever, and try it out on my Game Gear. As soon as I get it fixed up, I need to replace the capacitors and the screen and all that. The Game Boy is in fantastic shape. It does work fine. The screen, I think, is getting a little bit old, so I'll have to replace the screen with a LCD backlit one, because it's faded some on here, which does happen a lot with old Game Boys here. And then now for my biggest hit of the year. I was freaked out. I went to this guy's place because he had some pretty good stuff listed. Didn't know if it would still all be there, but I got there right as he was opening up. I'm going to save the big thing for last, but he had some other stuff, and this is kind of game related. Got the Resident Evil CG movie here. It's supposed to be good. Picked up Far Cry 2 Collector's Edition for the PS3. Even though I already have the Far Cry collection for the PS3 that has 2, 3, and that Dragon game. And I thought I'd pick it up though. Oh, well, that's not good. Oh well. Got some strategy guides here, all for 50 cents each. Got Zelda Wind Waker. Got Wolfenstein. And Hitman Blood Money. So the thing that originally drew me to this sale was that he said he had an Atari for sale. Which, again, I had a hunch, but usually when you go to these sales, the people have them way overpriced. Like thinking, This is, God, at this point, 40 years old now? It has to be worth tons. No, they made millions and millions of them. Okay, depending on which model you have, it's not worth much. And even if it is worth something, it's not worth tons. So I got there, and the guy had, I'm not going to take all this out, but he had an original 6-switch one. The joystick's in good shape, has everything here, it looks good. And he also had, that goes with it, a ton of games in a cool 8-track case. Yeah, we got tons of these games. So before I go through all the games, the system and all these games were $25 total. And he said he just tried it out to verify it works. It did. $25. I am sold on that. That is like the coolest thing ever. So let's see. Through the games, I have manuals here for Pitfall and Star Trek. Got Combat here, which I know is worth $1 million because not everybody has it. Surround looks like a puzzle game, but the artwork, though, you know, is top notch. It's awesome. The only one that I did already have in here was Keystone Capers, one of my favorite games that I played with my cousins back in the day. I have that in the box, but I got Maze Craze here. Okay, Mega Mania, Coconuts, Pitfall, of course, Dodge 'em, Hangman, Street Racer, Outlaw, MASH. I love the artwork there. And this, I believe, is based on the film, not the TV show. Pole Position. Okay, let's move that up here some. Breakout, which is, again, a game that everybody has, worth $1 million. Donkey Kong. Space Invaders. Pac-Man, which I already did have, but, you know, it's great to have one of the worst games of all time that helped in part bring about the video game crash of '83. Skydiving, which is funny because, like, are you going to skydive out of a World War II plane or something? I don't know. Asteroids, classic game. Night Driver. Amadar, which was very fun. We got Haunted House, great artwork there. Keystone Keepers, like I said, we got Star Trek. We got Golf. Video Pinball. And Missile Command. You know, most all these are great games. Overall, I think the whole package, you know, pricing out the games and all that, so you could probably get about $100 or so for it, but I paid $25 for it, and, you know, I'm glad that I got it. It's a great thing. So that, actually, crap, I forgot one other pickup downstairs real quick. Let me pause this and I'll go get it, and then we'll be done, okay? Okay, back again with a couple things. I also picked up DVD of the AVGM Volume 4, which was probably my favorite season of him. I got this at Half Price Books, which I think is also where I got that Utopia game at, I think. But great price, a couple bucks, and it has, you know, classic episodes on here. And then I was at a different garage sale, and he had pretty good pictures of everything. And one thing in particular had me like, okay, I have to go to this sale and get it. But first, at that sale, I also picked up Driver 2, which was a fun game. But the game that made me go there, though, was for Shining Force for the Game Gear. I've never seen this before out in the wild. He was only asking like $10 for it, which is a pretty good price. And it's a good game. I do dig the Shining Force game, so it's a good deal. So, okay, I knew I'd forget stuff, I think. That's pretty much all of it. Thanks for taking your time to watch the video. If you like what you saw, just hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and I'll see people again in the future, okay? Bye.